Hey everyone, it's me, the Sparkle Girl, or Kayla Sparkle, wherever you guys like to prefer to call me. So, first of all, since you have watched my latest video about the characters I personally ship, so, so I thought I'd like to make a review about TV shows I personally liked and love. But I won't share any that I dislike or anything because I don't want to offend you guys or anything. So, but I also going to include some of the shows that I also watched from my childhood and that. So, I bet you guys will be excited to watch this killer video because this is going to be the best yet. Okay, let's get on, baby. Okay, so I love My Little Pony. Well, it's obvious from my nickname. So you guys already know that my nickname is actually inspired by my favorite character of all times, Twilight Sparkle. Yep, you got it right, sister or brother. So let's just say I'm telling you guys that Twilight Sparkle is just one of those reasons I like My Little Pony. Which not that she's the only reason to like My Little Pony, because I like everything about My Little Pony. Like the episodes, the characters, the story and all that. All different things that we like to learn about from and that. And teaching us and learning things that we all need to experience too. Like something like that. And also I like almost every song. And some of you are probably already seen my video anyway about songs that I kind of like from both My Little Pony and the Equestria Girls. And speaking of which, I have seen the new Equestria Girls series a couple years back. I actually kind of feel like I'm missing that show sometimes because it was the best show ever. But if I have to say, I can only stick with the My Little Pony sometimes. Let's just say because I've been a huge fan of it since 2014. So it's been a long time now since I have watched My Little Pony. And sadly, it did kind of like cancel back in 2019 by Discovering Family or Hasbro, whatever you guys like to call it. And to tell the truth, ever since My Little Pony got cancelled, that's when I starting to watch Miraculous Ladybug. But I will get to that in a minute. But let's just focus on My Little Pony for now. So let's just say I do like everything about My Little Pony. And you probably have already know from my latest video that I personally ship Twilight Sparkle with Flash Sentry, but I also ship Sideswipe with Timber Spruce. But also, you probably already know that I also ship Sunset Shimmer with Sideswipe and all that, and Rarity and Abstract together or something like that. Let's just say I'm not normally sort of like a fan of these stuff while like younger at the time, but I'm starting to get used to it now since I'm starting to have a few favorites like gay characters, you know. Let's just say, yeah, something like that. But I'm used to it now, so you can't possibly blame me for that. So that's what I'm saying. So don't get too offensive about it, okay? So what I'm trying to say that I also like well, I kind of like Twilight's relationship with Princess Celestia. Not like you guys think what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say here is that I like the way Celestia being like a mother to Twilight, something like that. Let's just say, because although I have believed that Princess Celestia was originally supposed to be Twilight's mother in the original idea for the My Little Pony to come out back in 2010. It turns out it didn't work out, so I just remember so clearly. I just learned it from the My Little Pony website, something like that. So yeah, I was shocked to find out on that. So that's all I'm saying. So also, well, there are also few villains that I don't really like that much, like T-Rex, Queen Chrysalis, or that nasty, sneaky little Cozy Glow. Ah, she's a right jerk. you know. And at this, when she first appeared in season 8, I think it was, I thought she was a nice pony, but I keep seeing these theories from My Little Pony fans and the bronies saying that she could be evil the whole time. But turns out it is true. So well done, guys. So anyway, I just thought I'd tell you guys that I wasn't too keen on Cozy Glow sometimes. Let's just say she can actually, if I remember correctly, she actually inspired by this original character from this thingy film. I forgot the name of it, but I remember she was inspired by this character called Sherry Temple. You know, that's the song called Thingy. If some of you might remember the song that Britney sang from My Future Pet. Tell me about it. Every time I listened to that song, I was like, okay, Britney, you don't have to like overdoing it. Something like that. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, definitely. And I also remember this one episode from season 2 about the candlelight wedding. You know where you guys remember when Twilight was like suspicious with Cadence, although it's not actually the real Cadence, it's actually Queen Chrysalis in disguise throughout the whole part 1, until it was revealed in part 2 that the real Princess Cadence was, imprisoned. Yeah, tell me about it. And that's where Twilight discovers that's definitely the real Cadence, and she was proud to be, and that she is the real Cadence the whole time, in the one who's imprisoned. And yeah, I actually hate. Well, I kind of don't like the way the authors treat Twilight after she told them the truth about what's going on and that. But I mean, the way, even though she did kind of like overdoing it, like whatsoever. But it's just the way the others just walked away and leaving Twilight alone. I mean, what kind of friends do that? A true friend would never do something like that. If I was Twilight, I would just tell those characters, will you start listening to me without questioning me and stop being so, like, not gonna listen, la 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 la, something like that. That's what I'm trying to say here. I just think they should why can't they just, like, listen of what Twilight has to say, rather than just walk away? And they did the same thing in the My Little Pony movie. Like, for God's sake, you girls. I mean, seriously? Well, you can't possibly blame Twilight, although she did try to steal the pearl. But I know it's not really a good excuse for what she did. But I'm telling you guys, Twilight Sparkle has every right to be mad with the others, because all they ever did, well, mostly Pinkie Pie, keeps ruining the adventure. She keeps thinks everything is all like fun and games, but clearly it's not. It's a serious big deal, Pinkie Pie. Sometimes, Pinkie Pie, I wish I could teach you some, like, manners, like, stop being so, like, a hypocrite to Twilight when she's trying to be reasoning with you. You know what I mean? Well, tell me about it. So, all I'm saying that even though, like, sometimes side with whoever, it's not always a good thing, but sometimes I have to be honest, I actually cry on Twilight's side most of the time, because I literally wasn't happy the way Pinkie Pie said about, yeah, definitely. Okay, tell me about it. You can't possibly blame me for having to decide with Twilight, but like I said, she has every right. Uh, okay, so let's just move on. Okay, so to Miraculous Ladybug. Okay, I love that show very much, as I love My Little Pony. And yes, of course, I kind of like both My Little Pony and Miraculous as equal most of the time. Let's just say that ever since My Little Pony has cancelled back in 2019, that's when I started watching Miraculous, something like that. So it's been a long while since I watched Miraculous. Yeah, something like that. And yeah, I do like Marionettes. And although Adrian, that almost everyone knows who's them as Ladybug and Cat Noir or Chat Noir for French, but it doesn't matter. But all I'm saying is that I actually kind of adore them, like I'm really in love with Marinette and Adrian. Not like having like you, you know, but all I'm saying I just love them because let's just say they inspire me so much, and let's just say I do may have a little crush on Adrian, aka Cat Noir. Let's just say you can't possibly blame me for that, but I do know that he's and Marinette already are, thing. But I don't know for sure whether if they ever will be because since season 5 it is, you know, airing at the moment. But I just hope they will be together because I don't want them to get separated. Well, speaking of which, I actually dislike Gabriel Agrest, who we know Adrian's dad, that we also know him as the villain of the show, and also from the film. Well, tell me about it. He's quite a jerk, to be honest. Let's just say I actually really, really dislike Gabriel Agrest, aka Hawkmoth or Shadowmoth or Monarch. I mean, what kind of names are they? I mean, jeez, Gabriel, what kind of person is he to have too many names? I mean, well, yeah, you kind of remind me that Elsa, Marina, and Adrian, when they are as superheroes, they do have different names when they have their superhero costumes and that. Like when you can guys remember from this one episode from season 3 called Reflectol, where they both literally got separated and they all literally switch places from that Marinette is now called herself in Lady Noir because she's a black cat superhero, and same thing for Adrian because he ended up becoming into called Mr. Bug. Yep. Well, I'll just say that's just a thing. And I do feel confused by this sometimes, but not all the time. And, well, it's just something we had to get used to and that. And yeah, so like I'm gonna say that I don't really like Lila either, to be honest. And let's just say she's just a mean girl who just literally just manipulates almost everyone in the whole school and the whole parents as well to make them to be against Marinette Ladybug, And actually kind of feel sorry for Marinette. She doesn't deserve any of it. But sometimes Lila just pay in the net. Sometimes I want to give her a knuckle sandwich, right in the face. Like a Powerpuff Girl, baby. Okay, I'm doing it, overdoing it, but that's what I feel like I want to do. If she was ever a real person, I would definitely do that. Although that's not really my thing, because I'm not really quite a violent person, Yeah, tell me about it. Okay, so I also don't like Chloe. Well, sometimes I don't mind her in some episodes, but sometimes, well, most of the time, she can be quite annoying. Ugh, give me a break, Chloe. Why don't you just give Marinette a break, Chloe? You think you actually own the whole Paris? Nuh-uh. All those that have dad is actually the mayor of Paris. But believe me, Chloe thinks she's the feature mayor of the Paris. But for me, no. She was never ever going to be the feature mayor of Paris. No way. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the I also like Lilo and Stitch series. Yeah. I as a kid I never really watched it at all. But I remember this one time, this one memory, I was in my nan's house, minding my business, went up the stairs to go to the bathroom, and then I saw my cousin, well, he was like watching one episode of Lilo and Stitch and that in my mom's old bedroom, because she did used to be have a TV there, which is not there anymore. And I just remember he was watching this episode called Melty. Yeah, it's definitely called that because I remember this one memory seeing the future Jumper and Lilo and Stitch in the future with the future Jumper, trying to fix the time machine and that to go back to their time where Lilo was trying to make, this whole thing with Tioni, the boy that she had a crush on, and Stitch had to, capture the experiment. Yeah, something like that. So I just remember something like that. Tell me about it. But although, I'm literally honest to admit, I love the show very much, especially this one peculiar episode, Angel, who actually based on the character Angel, since we all know who Angel is. She is Stitch's love interest. Some of you probably might get confused by this because some of us already know that all the experiments are Stitch's cousins. But can I just be honest with you guys? Just because it said cousins, it doesn't mean that they actually related or anything. Cousins actually means friends in Hawaii. So that means they're not really family, but they can consider as Stitch's family sometimes, but they're not really like an actual family, like in blood or something like that, because let's just say they are created by Jumper. If you guys remember that. Yeah. And let's just say, I always keep believing that Stitch could be the leader of all the aliens and that. Yeah. If you guys think about it, I always believe Stitch is the true leader of all the aliens that he had met through the whole series and that. Yeah. And although I don't like that Mel Edmonds, she's a jerk. She's quite a bully. She keeps calling Lilo like this.
Once a weirdo, always a weirdo.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, okay, Moral, we just need to share this. Thank you very much. If I have to be honest, she's the one who's being a weirdo and crazy, and she's a bully. Well, if I remember correctly, I remember this video from called belongs to Isaac Carlson, and he did make a video about Metal's backstory, but sometimes I don't really have any sympathy for Metal, like at all. I just mostly have sympathy for Lilo, because Lilo doesn't deserve any of the bullying. I mean, well, to be honest, if I remember correctly, Metal's name originally was going to be called Jenny. Some of you probably might find it shocking. I was the same as well when I first found out, so I'll possibly blame you guys. Okay, so I also like this other show called Grimm's Hotel Classics. I just remember that show so well, and although there are also a few episodes that I get scared of as a kid, which I kind of grew out of it, and some of them still can give me the heebie-jeebies, like, ooh, give me the spooks. Especially this Bluebeard episode. Don't think about that. Okay. Alright, we'll not talk about it because it just gives me the creeps. And he actually literally almost reminds me with King Henry VIII. I mean, or he reminds me with Bluebeard, like having too many wives. I mean, like, hello, how many wives do you need? Tell me about it. Like, give us a break, man. Alright. And I also like, Sofia the First. Yeah, I love that show. I have loved it since when it first came out back in 2012. Although, if I remember correctly, I barely watched it when it first came out. What I'm trying to say here. And yes, did kind of watched it like a year later or something. That's what I'm trying to say. Ever since it came out, I did watch the actual pilot when it came out, and I remember got a DVD of it. Yeah, I also got a DVD of this other episode that I also like called The Floating Palace, which is actually came out on my birthday back in 2013. Like, wow, ugh. I mean, that's a good start. I mean, well, it's obvious because Ariel isn't in that episode. I'm actually quite lucky. Ariel, Floating Palace, came out on my birthday in 2013. Wow. I think Sofia the First made me feel like I'm lucky. Yeah, tell you that. Okay. So, let's just say I've always loved Sofia the First. And you probably already know that I also ship Sophia with Prince Hugo, which he was a bit of a jerk at first from season 1 until he kind of redeemed himself for his redemption from season 2 and again in season 3. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And I also like this other show called Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. And I don't mind the other one called Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Or maybe What's New Scooby-Doo? Well, if I have to be honest, I barely watched the one I just mentioned just then, the one about Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? I barely watched that most of the time, but I do have seen a few clips of it on YouTube or stuff like that. But most of the time, I kind of prefer What's New Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated because these are the ones I usually watch the most while growing up. And let's just say, I did used to watch the film called Scooby-Doo with my mommy. Well, I actually got a DVD of that actually, and it's quite good. Although I did used to get scared of that thingy that Velma disguised herself as. You know, that zombie look. I mean, ugh. It just the way it screams after it reveals itself on that thingy Egyptian thingy statue. I mean, like the way she does like this. Yeah, tell me about it. That gives me the freakiest out. Yeah, tell me about it. Okay. And I also like the Powerpuff Girls. Yeah, the Powerpuff Girls is just one of the best things to like in life. And although I'm not too keen on the new version of the Powerpuff Girls, the one that has came out back in 2016, I think it was. Yeah, definitely. But it is okay to be fair, and I don't mind some few episodes of it. But most of the time, I kind of prefer the original one. You know, the one that we all know with like Tara Strong, something like that. That we all know he voices the original Bubbles. I actually kind of prefer that Bubbles most of the time because, well, obviously Tara Strong. Who else who voiced Twilight Sparkle from my opinion? Yeah. Well, yeah. And I do remember a few episodes like Bubbles Vicious, where she can be a bit over the top. Although she did kind of like feel like angry inside, like she wants to prove everyone that she can be like a hardcore. Although she can be a jerk in that episode sometimes, but sometimes I do kind of feel sorry for her, you know. And I also remember this one episode called Twisted Sister, where we all meet the new Powerpuff Girl with the name Bunny. Well, you can't possibly blame me or anything, but I still am, like, scared of the last bit of the episode. You know, at the end, where that narrator was, like, talking, calm down, dude, you give me the creeps already, and the way the music plays, it just gives me the something like that. But don't worry, I'm not stressing out or anything. It's just sometimes when talking about things that scares you a lot or something can easily make you feel emotional. But I try my best not to get over the top about it. And But I also like, uh, oh, mm, oh yeah, definitely. I also started to like this show called Alice Wonderland Bakery. But I did mention before in my community post that I will catch up sometime when I have the chance to watch it, because I already seen the first episode and it was quite good. Yeah, tell me about it. And that's when I started shipping Alice and Hattie. Yeah. And I also like the Tweenies. Yeah. I always loved that show since as a kid. It's been a long while, I mean, like a long time I watched that show, but I still watch a bit of it, like from time to time, like on YouTube or whatsoever. And I also like it. Oh, Spot the Dog. I really love that show. Yeah, you can't possibly blame me for it, but I always miss that show sometimes because I like every single episode from it. Because I did used to have a DVD of Spot the Dog, and I think I still have it somewhere. I will find it sometime if I still have it. I mean, oh, and I also like this Little Mermaid show, the Disney one. But I also like the other Little Mermaid show, Saban. You probably might see my video of it before. The Disney and Sabans of it. Yeah, something like that. Well, let's just say I like them both as equal most of the time. Let's just say they're all quite different compared to one another, but I still love the Disney Little Mermaid anyway, because I've seen it before, and I did used to watch it like from the like VHS or something. Yeah, while I was in primary school. Well, one of the primary schools, because I have been in few primary school when I was a kid while growing up and now. So yeah, along with Sofia. Yeah, and but I also rendered this Saban version of the Little Mermaid show because I just remember this. Well, I used to have a DVD of it. I think I still have it somewhere. I don't know for sure if I did or not. But well, let's just say I still watch that show sometimes on YouTube anyway. And my most favorite episode of the series is definitely the first episode called Return to the Sea. I just love that episode so much. Yeah, tell me about it. Well, it can't be coincidence because the title of the episode can remind us that the actual Little Mermaid sequel, the Disney one, with Ariel's daughter Melody. Yeah, something like that. And with the Disney version of the Little Mermaid show, I would definitely say that I love the episode Giggles. I just remember that episode so well from this Disney princess thingy DVD, along with the other episode from Aladdin called The Eye of the Beholder. Yeah, something like that. Oh, and I also remember the 80s series of Alvin and the Chipmunks. Yeah, I love that show. I also love, well, like the new one that we all have right now nowadays. The Alvin and the Chipmunks. Something like that. Yeah, I like. But there are also a few things I like about it, and there are also a few things that I don't like about sometimes. Like Dave, Simon, and Miss Smith. Oh, they're so annoying most of the time. I mean, can't you just at least give Alvin a break? Including everyone to give Alvin a break as well. I mean, Alvin can be Alvin, but sometimes he can sometimes need like like just say I just think Alvin just like break because he no matter how much they keep showing that dislike towards Alvin or annoyance towards him or whatsoever, I just think Alvin just like I wish I was in that show sometime and tell Alvin, you can't always just let them get away with it and make them like keep letting them boss you like that. You should stand up for yourself. Something like that. And I bet Alvin would be appreciated if he was a real person, or a real actual chipmunk. Sounds like he's not real. But But yeah, I just love it. And I also like the other show that most of you never heard of it, and it's called EastEnders. I watched it since like 2016, but actually, for my correction, I did sort of started watching of like a few bits of it before. Like I did sometimes remember my own mom and dad did used to watch EastEnders a long time ago, which they don't anymore, sadly. But I watched it. But let's just say I remember they used to watch EastEnders a long time ago, and I actually remembered well one peculiar episode that I saw them watch once, like when I saw Peggy Mitchell leaves back in 2010, and again with back in 2012 when Ben Mitchell was arrested for killing Heather, something like that. You probably don't want to know that, but if you're interested or want what's going on in these storylines and that, there is a website of EastEnders. Well, wiki fandom of EastEnders. That's what I'm saying. Okay, and although that's what you guys probably might already know that I have a crush on Bobby Beale. The Bobby Beale from EastEnders. Well, the Elia Carrington version of Bobby Beale, that's what I mean. Not the new one. No. Okay, so let's just say Elia Carrington is the Bobby that I prefer most of the time. Because I really adored him ever since he was on the show. But sadly, he's no longer on the show since he was, like, replaced by someone else. Which I'd already mentioned that the one I'm not too keen on. Let's just say he's okay, but most of the time I just prefer Elliot Carrollton because he's the best. But sometimes I feel like I wanted to grow out of it sometimes. Although I can't forget my crush on Elliot, you know. Tell me about it. You know, sparkling in the eye, the bird. Okay, alright. It's not the idea of him, but I already did mention in my old video about him, something like that. But I think I might make a new video about him anyway. So, or did I already did that? I don't know, but I will check that out. Okay. Well, I'm saying that I just love EastEnders for all these years, and let's just say, let's just say EastEnders is EastEnders. Like, there's always drama going on. Like, got you, Sophie. You got me, or I got you. Because I kind of like that drum thingy sound every time the beginnings, well, the start of the episode to come on, or when it's finished or something like that. It always starts and ends with like stuff like that. Yeah, well, I just kind of like the way it does that. And sometimes every time my dad hears that, he always go like crazy, like non-stop, like, we'll stop drumming. I was like, okay, Dad, give me a break. Alright, okay, I'm done. But I also like Casualty. Well, some of you probably might don't want to hear any details about Casualty because it's all about hospitals and rescuing people who has been in an accident or whatsoever, being sick, pregnant, all that. Like I said, you don't want me to go through to the details because sometimes it can be a bit personal sometimes. I'd rather not want to make anyone feel sick or you know, like this. You know. Alright then. But I might do a part 2 sometimes very soon, or maybe sometime next week, or maybe next month, I don't know. But I will make a part 2 whenever I get a chance. So I hope you guys enjoy my part 1. So if you want to share your favorite shows, let us know in the comments. And if you have any questions or anything, like I said, in the comments. So if you're new to my channel, be free to subscribe, give it a like, and press the notification bell to receive my video every day. And I hope you guys enjoy your day. And like I said, I hope you have the best time ever. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.